Well, I thought I'd bring you some content from a local area in our broadcast family out at Cleve on the Eyre Peninsula, and I was keen to talk to this young man. His name's Liam Anderson. I brought a news bulletin item to you late last week for those listeners in South Australia. He's a new landscape officer on the Eastern Eyre Landscape Management Board. And as he said in the statement when that was announced last week, he's a proud Adnyamatha man as well, and has spent a bit of time out on country in the Flinders Ranges. He has said when he was appointed last week that one of his first focuses was on delivering rabbit control programs across the region. And his number, if you want to get in touch with him about what he's talking about here, 0428 282 077. Liam's office based in Cleve on the Eyre Peninsula. But as for someone myself who has my own rabbit problems where I live in the Barossa Valley, it's useful information to remind farmers and landholders that it is an important time to get on top of baiting if you can and deal with those pesky rabbits, as the Primary Industries Minister in South Australia has made some pretty close Elmer Fudd comparisons. We do want to get on top of those rabbits before they become a serious problem. Here's what Liam Anderson from the Eyre Peninsula Landscape Board had to say about that. Liam Anderson from the Eyre Peninsula Landscape Board, thanks for talking with us on Flow.
No worries, mate.
Wanted to pick up on this press release that's come out from your organisation about advice for people to get on with their baiting programs in your area. What's the main advice you're giving at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. I've just noticed there's a fair few reports from particularly around the Cleve area of the rabbit numbers increasing. So we developed sort of the press release today just to try and get on top of it. It's just the right time of the year to start baiting. So there's a couple of different ways that we can approach it, but bait laying of the 1080 oats is probably the first choice of most farmers. So, and
where can they get that from?
Yeah, so they can purchase that directly from us for around $25 a bucket, and that's already pre-mixed for them. So, yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah, and in terms of the numbers and where they've gone up and down, has that sort of been something that surged in recent years, or is it something that has been on at a low after recent virus releases?
Yeah, so it has been low. The K5 release that we have done in particular areas has made an impact that, unfortunately, it kind of varies in its impact on younger rabbits. So if they've bred up in good seasons, which we have had over the last sort of 12 months, then they're not susceptible to the virus. So definitely another release of the virus, or as I mentioned, the 1080 bait is the way to go to get on top of those younger rabbits.
Yeah, so the younger rabbits showing any resistance to the baits, or that's pretty effective, generally speaking?
As far as the baits go, 1080 baits, that's definitely all rabbits, young and old, are susceptible to that.
Yeah, and so you can. What's the expectation in terms of how much it'll knock the numbers back by with a successful baiting program?
Yeah, it's definitely in the 90s. As far as obviously it depends on the rabbit numbers and how successful your bait laying is. So it's definitely advisable to get a grip on sort of how big the infestation is.
And what's the main impacts they'll have if they? I mean, there's a cropping impact as well, but an environmental impact as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So if there's any native vegetation on the private properties, definitely the herbaceous understory. So the rabbits will go through and decimate the understory, and therefore leading to erosion problems and things like that.
Yeah, so there's not just, there's an environmental benefit from baiting, but there's also a primary production benefit as well of getting on top of it early.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
well, Liam, look, thanks for giving us an update on that, and I look forward to sharing that with our listeners so they can get in and pay you a visit, or at least get the baiting underway.
Yes, absolutely, mate. Yeah, they can contact me, or, they can pop in. I'm in the office most days in Cleve, so yeah, pop in and we'll have a chat about it.
Thanks, Liam.
No worries. Thanks, mate.